Hi, boys and girls. Thank you so much for joining me tonight on Pajama Prayers. What a beautiful day. I hope you did something really fun and enjoyed the day. You know, it doesn't always have to be sunny to be a beautiful day. Rainy days are beautiful too, but we did have a great day today. As always, we're going to start our show off tonight with our game of hidden pictures. Are you ready to play? Here we go. Have fun and good luck to you.
Can you find what's hidden in this picture? Can you find a bottle? Where is the magnifying glass? What about a mushroom? Can you find a butterfly? Do you see a candle? Can you find a mitten? Do you see a crescent moon? Do you see a ladle? Where is the sock? Where is the star? Where is the mallet? Can you find an adhesive bandage? Do you see a toothbrush? Can you find a tennis racket? Can you find a whistle? Do you see a carrot? What about a ruler? Do you see a teacup? Can you find a banana? What about a ghost? Can you find the comb? Can you see a ring? Can you find the mouse? Now find the cherry. Can you find a boomerang? Can you find a radish? Where is the hot air balloon? What about a baseball? Do you see a cloud? Can you find a scarf? Great job!
Did you have a good time with that puzzle? Did you notice the man in the raft that was rowing out there in the water with the whales? Oh my goodness, he looked like he was having a good time, but I would not want to be in that raft. We're going to move on to our story. The name of our story tonight is The Boy and the Ocean, and it's written by Max Lucado, and you are going to love it. The Boy and the Ocean by Max Lucado. The little boy rolled over in his bed and opened his eyes. Through his window, he could see the ocean. Big and blue, rolling waves, water crashing on the beach. The little boy stood at the window and searched for the end of the ocean. He couldn't see it. He could see the ships on it. He could see the birds above it. He could see the horizon stretching across it. But the little boy couldn't see the end of it. He couldn't see the end of the ocean. "Would you like to play in the ocean?" his mother asked. The little boy stood on the edge of the water with his mother. She took his hand and they waded into the surf. When the water covered his feet, he looked up at her. When it reached his knees, he took a breath and squeezed her hand. When the wave rushed against his chest, she laughed. He did too. The two sat in the sand and let the waves splash around them. God's love is like the ocean, my little boy, she said. It's always here. It's always deep. It never ends. God's love is special. The little boy spent the day playing near the ocean. He counted starfish. He built sand castles. He searched for shells. But most of all, he watched the ocean. He could see the clouds above it. He could feel the tide within it. He could taste the salt inside it. But he could never see the end of it. He could never see the end of the ocean. That night, as the moonlight stretched across the sea and landed on his face, he listened to the waves. Slap, slap, slap against the sand. "Go to sleep, my little boy," his mother whispered. "The ocean will not leave. The ocean will not change. The ocean is like God's love. Always here, always deep. It never ends. God's love is special." And so the boy slept with the sound of the ocean in his ears. The next day, the little boy looked out a different window at the mountains. High and tall, white-tipped, touching the clouds. The little boy looked from side to side to see the end of the mountains. He couldn't see it. He could see the trees growing among them. He could see the snow glistening on top of them. He could see the birds flying around them. But he couldn't see the end of the mountains. "Would you like to take a hike in the mountains?" his father asked. He took the boy's hand, and together they started up the mountain trail. When the leaves scattered over the boy's feet, he looked up at his father. When the wind shook the tall trees, he took a breath and he squeezed his father's hand. When they looked out over the great valley, the father smiled. The boy did too. The two sat on a rock and looked around them. "God's love is like the mountain, my little boy," Father said. "It's always here. It's always big. It never ends. God's love is special." The two spent the day playing in the mountains. The boy splashed in the creek. He picked flowers in the meadow. He listened to the singing birds. But most of all, he looked at the mountains. He could see the sky above them. He could feel the wind blow through them. He could hear the water that bubbled between them, but he could never see the end of them. He could never see the end of the mountains. That night, as the moon appeared from behind the peaks, the boy thought of the mountains and smiled. "Go to sleep, my little boy," his father whispered. "The mountains will not leave. The mountains will not change. The mountains are like God's love. Always here, always tall. It never ends. God's love is special." And so the boy slept with thoughts of the mountain in his dreams. The next day, he ran on the beach and swam in the water. He chased his puppy up the mountain trail and looked for flowers. When the day ended, he and his parents lay on the grass and looked at the night sky. Stars everywhere, twinkling, shimmering, diamonds in the dark. He looked as far as he could see, to see the end of the sky. He couldn't see it. He could see the moon, yellow and round. He could see the clouds, puffy and fat. He saw a star race from one side of the sky to the other, but he couldn't see the end of the sky. "Would you like to count the stars?" his mother and father asked. So they tried. 12 over there, 24 over there. There were too many. When he reached 100, the boy looked up at his mother. When the wind turned chilly, his father held him close. His parents looked up into the big sky and became quiet. So did he, for a while. But then the boy spoke. "God's love is like the night sky," he told them. "It's always here. It's always big. It never ends. God's love is special." The boy, the mother, and the father stayed for a long, long time near the ocean, close to the mountains, beneath the sky, surrounded by God's love. And they smiled. The end. Wasn't that a great story? I absolutely loved that story. Our scripture for tonight comes from the book of Psalms 136 and verse 1. And it says, "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, and his love endures forever." That means that his love lasts forever. Well, we've reached the end of our show and we are all out of time. I'm glad you joined me tonight, and I hope you will join us again next Saturday night. And until then, turn to someone there with you and say, "You are worth more than you know, capable of more than you think, and loved more than you can imagine." Good night.